come up with a way to totally eradicate this whole idea of rejection in sales. If it's over at hello, how the heck are you going to succeed in selling? You've got to rise above that and change your mindset.
Hello, everybody. This is Ari Galper, and welcome to the Stump The Guru Show. We are here live again this month with some folks in the green room. I can see you back there waiting to ask me a question. If you're new to this show and you're on the podcast, welcome. We have thousands of people listening to this every single month, which is great. And we hear great feedback that it's adding value, helping people with what we're sharing in these sessions. This is a live Q&A call, unprepared. People jump in from all over the world with their biggest, toughest, most complex sales challenge. And I've got to answer for them on the spot without any planning. So I enjoy this process, and I think the folks coming on do as well. They get a lot of value, which is great. So today's theme, as you probably saw in the topic, is this whole idea of, is the hard sell obsolete? And I think we all know the answer to that, that if you're attempting to add pressure to someone to close that sale, obviously you're going to lose the opportunity and you'll get rejected and it's uncomfortable. There's kind of two layers to this. There's the overt hard sell, which we know what that is, which everybody hates. But there's also the covert hard sell, so to speak, where there's underlying pressure that that they can feel from you, but you yourself don't know you're delivering to them. And that's the whole layer we deal with here at Unlock the Game. I call it the business name, trust-based selling, where we focus on how to diffuse the underlying pressure, the river of pressure that flows underneath your conversation you have with someone who just met you or first meeting. And that pressure is there because they're coming onto the call with you already thinking that you're going to attempt to get them to like you, convince them of what you might have, or educate them on a solution they don't know about in a way to move them forward. They're already thinking in the back of their mind, your job is to move them forward. That's why you're showing up with them. So you have to have a way to be able to cut through that pressure and help them see that you do not have an agenda. You are there to diagnose their problem like a doctor and a patient relationship. And you're not going to have any expectation of any movement forward unless they themselves want to solve their problem. That is a mindset shift completely away from the typical know, like, and trust model that most people are used to, which they grew up with in the 80s, which is, hey, let's get to know this person. They get to know me. We become friends. We have a social relationship, so to speak. And if all goes well, they'll work with me. Unfortunately, those days are kind of over because people know that could be fake sometimes, because real relationships take time to build, a lot of time. And there's no time to build a real relationship with someone pre-sale. Hence, we have to shift to a doctor-patient, what I call the one-call sale model that we developed, where you can cut through the noise and they respect and trust you as the authority, and then they onboard with you in that one meeting. And that's kind of the big idea for today. And if you don't know, we launched our newest book this month called Are You Chasing Ghosts? It's not available on Amazon. It's only available at our website at unlockthegame.com or arigalper.com. And it does a deep dive into why those who get inbound leads end up chasing their prospects, how to turn things around, the psychology behind that, why you hear things like, I want to think about it, I'm not ready yet, well, let me discuss with my wife first, what you can do about that, and understanding all the psychology of why the leads do not convert to sales. So you can begin to understand how to pull back the pieces of the process together to get your sales cycle to one single meeting. So you want a copy of that, just go to our website, unlockthegame.com. I think there's a free copy available on the homepage there if you want to get a copy of that there and schedule a chat with us as well. But grab a copy. It'll definitely help you as you begin this journey of digging down what I call the iceberg. So we'll get live now. I know there's some folks back there chopping the bit to ask me some questions. So Steve, who do we have back there?
All righty, let me fix that real quick. We're going to bring Doug up first right now. So Doug Singer, if you could let everybody know a little bit about you and your business and your question for Ari, please.
Yes, hi, my name is Doug Singer. I'm a financial advisor. And Ari, I've got a question for you.
Sure.
What's your approach to dealing with repeated client rejections for potential clients? And how do you maintain the motivation and the confidence in your sales approach during those very difficult times.
Well, let's figure out, first of all, why the rejection is happening. And let's stomp that out first. So can you walk me through like a typical scenario where you have that happen to you so I can understand where the breakdown is?
Yeah, I think a lot of times, like you were talking about chasing ghosts. I get a lot of I need to think about it. I get a lot of call me next week. I get put off a lot on a lot of my initial conversations.
So if you're getting, I want to think about it, that means that what you may have done unconsciously is provided them education, ideas, concepts, insights, information. When you provide somebody information on initial call with someone in the sales process, that is new layers of content their brain has to process, which gets in the way of them being decisive with you to make a decision to hire you. Now, I know it sounds countercultural because we've been taught for many, many years as advisors and experts, our job is to educate the person so they're impressed with their knowledge, and somehow they'll say, okay, you're so smart. Where do I sign up? Well, those actually worked pre-COVID quite a bit, but now those days are over because information has been commoditized, so is expertise and value. So you can't rely on that anymore to make the sale happen. So what you need to think about, Doug, is what can you remove from your current process right now is getting in the way from them making that decision with you where they say to you, Doug, I'm in. Let's do this. And I think in your case, it's permission to let go of the education piece, the brainstorming piece, and you probably know what's going on there, to start focusing on how to take control of the conversation where you make the call less about them getting to know them personally, but more about the problem that they have and unpacking it to a deeper level. We can talk more about that later on, but that iceberg is the key for you to remove the, I want to think about it. Let me get to you next week. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. No,
all right, Doug.
Totally agree.
All right. Good to see you again. Take care. All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right. Sure. So we're back with Stump the Guru Show. We are live. If you want to jump on, please go to stumptheguru.com. You'll get right into the green room here. I'll see if we bring you in to ask me a quick question if we still have time. If you haven't got our latest book called Are You Chasing Ghosts, go to unlockthegame.com. It's on the homepage there. Grab a copy and have a chat with us as well while you're there. So who else we have? See you back there.
All righty. Up next, I'm going to bring on Derek. Here we go. Hey, Derek, how are you? Same deal. Who are you? What is your business about? And your question, please.
Hey, Ari. Well, Ari, you know me.
Hey,
so just for the audience, so I'm an enterprise account manager selling health and safety software. So what I wanted to do is kind of discuss, I'm very familiar with the mindset. And so I do a lot of prospecting, cold calling, and we worked on a problem statement many shows ago, and I've been using it. However, I'm getting some odd common objections. The interesting thing, though, when you use the mindset, it's almost you're being polite to that person, and that person will give you a second opportunity to address the objection. But I wonder if the opening statement is triggering it, or so I wanted to run it by you. And
let's sharpen it together because I've been evolving too. I can make it a little better for you. So maybe walk me through what we talked about last time.
Yeah, so the last time we talked about was, I used a bit of a variation. We talked about going up the line and down the line. Okay. So this variation of this opening statement that I'm using is I'm talking to health and safety people that are looking to meet their sustainability goals while using 10 to 20% less resources. So my opening statement is, I'm just giving you a call just to see if you'd be open to a different perspective of reaching your sustainability goals while using 10 to 20% less consumption of resources.
Okay, let's tighten that. It feels a bit complicated now that I'm hearing it again, as you're saying, because you're dealing with two big ideas at the same time. We got sustainability and 10% reduction of resources.
Right.
So between the two, what do you think is more compelling for them? Reducing their costs or
it's operational efficiency. I mean, so every company out there will set goals, right? And a lot of times they don't know how they're going to reach their goals.
okay,
And so they're very concerned about that. So they want to make sure that, they're cutting the number of resources that they're doing. They're cutting costs, things like that. That's super important to them. And they got to keep their eye on the target at the same
all
time.
right. So maybe something like this is, I'm just giving you a call to see if you'd be open to some unique resources that gives you a path to your sustainability goals, while at the same time dropping your costs to get there. So it's the same thing, but a little bit less sort of staccato in terms of clumps. But I'm just trying to get clear on, can we get to one? Can we find the one big idea that you believe would go, how do you guys do that? Because it can't feel incremental. It's got to be high concept. We got to give them some high concept idea where they go, how does he do that? It's like when I say to people, we do the one call sale.
Yeah.
How do you do that? So let's come up with some idea around this high concept where we come in with this idea that they themselves have never considered. So maybe I'm just giving you a call to see if you'd be open to an unusual idea that potentially could accelerate the speed in which you can get your sustainability goals.
Okay. Yeah, I could give that a shot.
I'm trying to add some romancing the stone a little bit here, because what we had originally was a bit dry. I'm trying to make it a little more interesting, a little more curious, a little more engaged. All we're looking for here, Derek, is, what do you mean? Tell me more.
No,
We
exactly.
gotta move to the next step, right? So I would play with that a little bit. It's on the recording here, and go a little more bolder in your promise, your statement.
Yeah, I can give that a shot. I think what's just to add something to that, Ari, like I said, one common objection I get is on the statement that I'm using is those decisions are made at the corporate level. Okay, so I mean, I could easily say, okay, fine, I'm going to call corporate. That's easy. But however, because you're working through an enterprise organization, the intel that I get on the ground level is so important to build that case.
Yes.
So is there any languaging that I can get to somehow, because they sit quietly after they make that objection and they're waiting for me to say something.
Here's what I might say. I said, would you be open to some insights that may help you at your level?
Okay.
I mean,
I like it. Straightforward.
it's clean.
Yeah.
It's simple, and it brings it back to them.
Yeah.
Try that. Let's see how that goes. And if you get more resistance, Derek, come on back. Let's keep chipping away so we clear that path so everything just keeps working for you,
Yeah. Sounds great, Ari. Thank you.
Good to see you again. All right, Derek, take care. All right, we're back with Stump The Guru Show. You can see all kinds of interesting questions coming my way, and all different scenarios. These are real situations. These are on-the-ground challenges people are having that can only be solved from a trust perspective and, of course, trust-based languaging perspective to tighten up the messaging so it feels received well by the other person. All right, so let's see who else we have in the room back there, Steve.
Alrighty, up next, and for people that do wonder, it really is like we don't know anybody that's coming in. I don't know the green room before I log in. I log in and I say, I hope there's people in there, and then there's always people in there, which is great. So this is as without a net as something could possibly be, right? Which is fantastic about it. Definitely. I'm going to bring Irv on right now. Hey, Irv, how are you?
Hi, how are you? I got to get in front of my camera so you can see me better. Hi, Ari, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. I have two questions, but I want to tell you an interesting thing that happened to me this morning.
Sure.
I bought a new car with my wife today.
First, tell us what you do so everyone knows.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm a financial advisor with Northwestern.
Got it.
And I went to buy a new car with my wife this morning. They're having deals on Teslas. Yay. So we went out and the salesman went away. There were two people there and one went away and the guy was by himself with me. And I asked him, how long have you been here? And he said, 7 years. And I said, we got to talking. And then he told me that he's having a baby in 2 months. I said, really? I said, that's great. I said, any concerns about not the baby, but life around what the baby's going to bring? He went, yeah, there's a couple of things. And I said, like, and he said, well, probably should get some insurance. And it's like, okay. And I was tempted to say, start going through the list. Do you have a will? Are you investing money? But we stopped. And I said, I help people with this kind of questionnaire right here. Would you like to have a conversation about this with you and your wife? And we're meeting on Monday at 4:00. It just was so easy. It just right through.
So you caught yourself to not
I caught
move
myself.
them
Yeah.
forward. You scheduled the meeting. Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, I didn't get my fact finder out and ask for your name, your birthday. No, I didn't do that.
Okay,
So I have two questions for you. One is,
Sure.
What can you say to someone who you just met? He's just a very interesting person, or she's a very interesting person, and you don't know a lot about them except you know what they do, and this would be a good prospect. But I don't want to come on too strong or scare them away. How do you take a step with somebody like that? Do you say, I'd like to get to know you better, or would you be open to having lunch or something like that to
Are you talking about someone you meet in a social situation, or what do you mean? What's
Yes,
the scenario?
yes, the social situation.
Oh, you met someone associate and they're interesting. Are you?
Here's the end.
Sure.
I had an elliptical machine in my house, and I wanted to get
Okay.
rid of it and this guy came by and he told me he owns 27 gas stations. I
Got
was
it.
like, whoa, this sounds like an interesting person to meet. I'd like to get to know him better. What do you say to
Sure.
somebody like that to get to the next step?
Did you have a chance to describe what you do?
Yeah, and I gave him my card.
What did you say you did?
I said I'm a financial advisor, and
Stop right there. Stop right there. Okay. So we got to change the identity of how they view you when they meet you. Because when you say
Okay.
I'm a financial advisor, they're going to go, "Oh, I got one of those."
Right. They didn't.
What
But
you
yeah.
well, whether he does or not, but I'm just saying the term has been commoditized, as you know, in the marketplace now.
Yeah.
What you can say is this: I'm a financial doctor.
I like that.
And you smile. They go, what do you mean? I help business owners solve 3 unique problems. 1, 2, and 3. That's all that I do. I just focus on those 3 issues that businesses owners deal with every single day that put them at risk. That's all I do. And now those problems should match what he's got. He'll go, I'd like to learn more. So switch the languaging, and Irv, you should be on your way.
More. Okay, great. Second question. In my journey with you, one of the things that you had said when you're following up with a prospect on the phone, instead of saying, "Hi, I'm Irv," and they know it's a sale, instead of doing that, it's like, "I'm hoping you can help me out." That's great. And they say, "Sure." And do you follow that with? Would you be open to some unique ideas for your? What follows that?
Yeah, you're in the right path here.
Okay.
So what you're missing is the key issues to say at the end. So would you be open to some different ideas and insights on how to address the issues of? And you plug in the 3 issues that you solve for people, for business owners who are targeted. Same issues when the guy says, "What do you do?" You have to have a staple of 3 core problems that you solve for your market. And when you're meeting someone new, whether it's the outbound call or socially, you describe the problems that you solve and let it sit there until they say to you, tell me more about that.
Okay.
So in your case, I'm just giving you a call, see if you'd be open to some different ideas and insights on ways to address the issues of 1, 2, and 3. And let it sit from there and see what they say. Hopefully the issues that you're describing, the market you calling already has. So they say, what do you mean by that? And then you're on your way from there. Okay.
It's not one size fits all. It's like what I think these people should. Okay.
Correct.
Also,
All right.
I booked a
Great to see
cruise.
you again.
I booked a cruise for Australia next year. I'm going to come see you.
Great. I'll take you out in my classic car for a ride.
Okay, the Porsche. Yeah, thank you.
Exactly. All right. See you later. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right. We're back with Stump The Guru Show. We are live. All kinds of folks coming in, old clients, new folks I don't know. It's fun. And I think this is a safe place to come and ask your question and get some key ideas, because if you go to the outside world, other places, you'll probably get traditional ideas that are conventional and everybody already knows. So hopefully you come here for some unique ideas. Are there anyone else left back there, Steve?
I have a cleanup hitter, the Aaron Judge of Stump the Guru. It's Sam. Sam, let the people that don't know who you are, the few that remain on the earth, know who you are and your question for Ari, please.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Ari. I'm a business coach. I help people with productivity issues, not enough cash flow, and not enough customers. My question to you, Ari, is one that's recently come about, and it's a topic around gathering whales. Like every now and then I come across a client that is huge, and I know in advance that they're huge. Usually huge means there's a couple of partners involved. So one partner's on the call, have a great call, courtesy of everything you've taught me. I go down the iceberg and it's fantastic. They want to do something further, and then inevitably it's going to be, I need to talk to my partners. Now, you've given me some strategies in the past to work on that, which is great. My question is this: when I know at the start that they're a partner, should I maybe say something different as I'm going down the iceberg? Should I maybe, because what I'd love to say is this your decision to make, or do you have other people here in the food chain that need to be consulted with? That's what I feel like.
I know you want to do that because you know in advance it's not going to go well at the end. So what you're trying to do is end run all that to avoid the moment of, oh, I got to talk to Mike about that first. So
yeah.
In my mind, what I would do, if you know in advance they're a big opportunity, but you know they're a partner and they cannot make a decision because partners have to go to the other partners, get along and have consensus first. Which of course,
I don't know that for sure. I don't know that for sure, but it's very likely. Yeah.
Okay, well, if you don't know for sure, it's different. If you know for sure, then treat them as if they are the single decision maker and do not change anything.
Right.
If you discover towards the end, they say to you, oh, I'm a partner here, I got to run it by Mike and Jim or whatever the partners' names are, then you know the odds are dropping pretty quick.
Yeah.
This will not work. This is not going to happen, because now what they have to do is go back and sell it to the other guys. Yeah. And they got to reach a consensus. They never met you, and pretty much it's over. And that's the risk you run with talking to folks who can't make a decision on the spot. But there is a way to deal with this, and that is, if you're having a Zoom call with someone, you record the meeting, you can say, would it be helpful for you if I got your recording of our session today? Have your partners watch the session to catch up what we talked about today. That saves you some time and gives them some context. That way we can all meet together next time around and catch up for some Q&A questions to discuss that. And typically I found people very open to that, and they actually thank me and say, hey, that's a great idea. Yeah. I'll let this recording do the selling. I said, exactly. Why should you have to go there and they have no context? And then I say, if you'd be open to it, why don't we schedule a time right now to catch up again, brainstorm. I like this new phrase, brainstorm together some ideas as a group of us, and we'll go from there. And almost everyone says that's great. They schedule a meeting with all three partners in advance.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I like brainstorming. I love it. What if you do know in advance? That's very likely, because you might look up and you see that they're a VP and the president's not there and that sort of thing. If you do know in advance, would you change anything in the one call sale or in the?
You know, I would give everyone the time they deserve.
Right.
I would not prejudge anybody, honestly.
Yeah.
I had a couple people recently who come to me who work for a huge system organization, and they were implying they knew the CEO, they're friends with the CEO, and somehow that would bait me into giving them what they wanted. And, you know, it's pretty common they're friends with the CEO, but the CEO doesn't respect them enough to make decisions with their advice. But I treated him and her the same way as anybody else. Full respect, full iceberg, full roadmap, no change at all. I want everyone to leave every conversation feeling good about the conversation and not shortcut it.
Beautiful. Thanks, Ari. I think that's
All
what
right.
I needed to know. I like keep standard.
Just keep it formulaic. Do not adjust and conform to anybody else. Have them conform to your process, and you're good to go. You can sleep well at night. Don't feel guilty. You can just know you did your best you could. You unpacked their problem, helped them see the issues. It's up to them if they want to solve it or not. That's your only job.
Yeah. You've helped me so much, because normally when I see a whale, I get this dose of hopium, but now I've got it under control a lot more.
Yeah, you got to control the hopium so it doesn't go in your veins and take over your thinking. And now you're already on the next step in the back of your mind. You got to be present the whole time. All right.
Thanks, Ari. That's
all right.
great.
Take care. All right, we're top of the hour here, and this will end our show. Hopefully you've enjoyed what you've heard today. If you want to learn more about our concept, our process, our latest book is now out called Are You Chasing Ghosts? It's on our homepage, unlockthegame.com. You get a copy of that. It's complimentary, along with my latest book before that called Trust in a Split Second. Get both of those for free in the mail. We pay for the stamps, along with a chat with us to discuss your situation to see if we can help you in some way. If not, no problem at all. But those books alone will be worth your time to access, that contains insights that you wouldn't get anywhere else in the world. So we're signing off for now. Have a great day. Hopefully you'll be all back soon. Bye-bye.
I've come up with a way to totally eradicate this whole idea of rejection in sales. If it's over at hello, how the heck are you going to succeed in selling? You've got to rise above that and change your mindset.